Ladies and gentlemen, by popular demand, Monroe and Federico back again. This time we're on Wi-Fi, so we're hoping we're not going to have any of those weird issues with bad connection. So good
Hello,
to.
everybody.
How are you, Federico?
I'm good.
So you saw a little bit of the music live stream or no?
I was gonna say it rocks. I was surprised that it's actually good quality, just being a phone recording it. So,
Yeah. Let me ask you. Did you watch it live?
I watched the first few minutes, and then I got your link, so I jumped on live. But I'm gonna keep watching later.
Um, but did you hear some of the music and my voice, or you didn't listen to that yet?
I skipped forward till I saw a song.
Okay, very cool. How do I realize I have to turn silent mode on when I am doing the live stream. When you texted me, it
The
froze the live
vibrating.
stream.
Oh,
Did,
mm.
did you just wave at somebody?
No.
Oh, I thought you saw you go like this.
I was like, no.
Oh.
I
And
don't know. I don't
so
know.
I've learned my lesson that, so A, if you know that I'm live streaming, actually, no, I'm not going to put it on you. If you need to text me, you can. I just need to remember before I
Do
go
not
live
disturb.
streaming, put in the silent mode because otherwise I got those weird distractions and things like that. And it is so weird that it takes like 2 or 3 minutes before people show up.
Yeah.
I I think
Yeah. The
that
show
is the
must go
number one
on.
lesson. What's that?
The show must go on.
The show must go on. I think that's the number one lesson for anybody who's interested in doing live streaming. It's like, look, there's Mr. Good Cat, and it took 2 minutes for someone to get there.
Hello,
I think
Mr. Good Cat.
like Mr. Good
I'm
Cat
gonna
was
put
part of
a
the.
tripod. I'm gonna put this phone on a little tripod, no, a desk tripod.
Yeah, I'm gonna start maybe getting some more equipment. Mr. Good Cat, do you know Federico? Did you see one of the live broadcasts with him last week? And Mr. Good Cat was part of the live stream of the music a moment ago. He was one of my biggest
Okay.
fans. So, Federico, tell Mr. Good Cat who you are.
I am a software developer. I'm a good friend of Monroe, and we work together at Intertech too. So that's a very short. I'm from Italy, uh, and something particular, I don't know. As the conversation goes, maybe something comes up, but.
We'll learn more and more. The June 6th was the first time tuning in. Well, hey,
Okay,
I'm
and
glad June 6th was not the last time you were tuning in. Hey, what's up, Amber Watson? Name a car for an edit?
name
Why
a
would why,
car for an
why wait?
edit.
But why would we want an edit? We'll name a car for a like and a subscription, but we're not going to name a car for an edit.
What does it
What's up,
mean?
Big Daddy? That one guy smile at you like he's in love with you. Yes, I'm in love with Federico, and Federico is in
Oh
love
my
with
god,
me.
these comments, right? I
Yeah,
can't believe.
they're absolutely bonkers. As long as they're not too crazy, I'll keep them. But if you guys start being spammers or being offensive, then you get kicked off our live stream. What's up, Christopher? What's up, Carson Godey? What's good? What's good is that you were here watching me and Federico on this live stream. That's what's good. What's up, Christopher? Hi. Are you Japanese? I don't know if you know. Hi is how you is. I think it's like yes in Japanese.
Oh yeah.
You two have only fans. No, we have fans. We have friends. We have family members. We're not just people with fans. What's up, Christopher? Came activities. Bold and brash man. A topic of discussion. What's up, dude?
Hmm.
Real Rumples, Carson
Yeah, we
Godey. I'm
didn't give a
Sean. Thank
topic.
you so much. Uh, Guys, remember, please also click like instead of just subscribing because the likes
Yeah.
help to invite more people to the live chat and also means that we're going to get higher ranked on the YouTube algorithm. The message is held for review. I'm going to click on that and see. You are gay. Uh, whether we are or not is irrelevant. We are not, but it's not something nice to say. So, KM activities, we're hiding your messages. I'm smoking a spliff. Okay, we're gonna put you in timeout as well, guys. We have a very family friendly channel here. and everything we're doing is trying to inspire people. From some of our subscribers are 10 years old, and some of them are 90 years old. So please, if you treat everyone in here like this is a trash bin, you're going to be timed out. Eventually, you'll be banned. So please don't do that. Uh, Everything bagel, really. Federico, what are your thoughts?
Really, really, really. I agree. What's the? Yeah, we didn't give a topic for today though.
No, this was the first time I didn't create a topic, and it was just as an experiment.
Mm.
I just call. Usually, there's an actual topic for the discussion. Today, I just wanted to try saying Monroe and Federico together again. So what we're going to do is base the topic on what you guys put in the comments.
Okay.
Now, so it's improv
Okay.
podcast. Now, the question is, you cannot, please don't put in stupid things that are really insulting or to me or to other people. But if you want us to talk about something,
Yeah,
so
we can skip those. Let's see. Let's see
good.
what we get.
So Dakota writes, "So handsome." I'm going to assume she's talking about both of us because we are both so handsome. Would you agree, Federico?
Absolutely. That's why she didn't specify.
All
Or
right.
he.
Molto bello. Siamo molti belli. All right. Everything Bagel gave our first topic of today. Is God real? Federico, why don't you start? Tell us what you think about God.
Um, I think God is real in a sense that you see it manifesting in the laws of physics, in the law in nature, in the perfection of patterns that we see in, like, for example, roots, trees, crystals, everything that makes up this planet, every pattern, every chemical formula. I think that's kind of like a way to see God, like how is such perfection existing in a natural state, and it looks like everything was measured so perfectly. I don't know, like the shell of a seashell or some kind of snail, right? It's this perfect.
We had 12 people watching until we started talking about God, and we went down to 5. As soon as you mention God, people go, "I'm leaving." I
I
agree with
mean,
you, Federico. I have this in silent mode, and I'm still getting a text message. That's really annoying. How do I
oh,
stop text messages from coming?
maybe airplane mode, but then
No, but then I don't have Wi-Fi, right?
airplane mode. Yeah,
Oh,
it might
airplane mode
disable
is Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Okay,
Mm,
we'll try that towards the end of the live stream because I don't
exactly.
want
So
to
if it's
disappear. So for my thoughts on God, I'm in a biology pre-med class at Miami-Dade College now because I'm thinking vaguely that maybe I'll want to go to med school in the future. Probably not, but who knows? And I agree with Federico. The more I learn about how living systems work and how the body works, and I'm just learning recently how when we ingest food, it creates glucose in the body, and then when we breathe oxygen goes in the body. Oxygen and glucose react together, and they create something called STP, which is not,
ATP,
ATP. Wait, what is it? Anadenosine I got it. Can't remember.
adenosine triphosphate.
Adenosine triphosphate. Thank you. Federico actually went to medical school. He dropped out to become a web developer because he found another love. But he and I both have this love for biology and the human body and all that. And the more I read these biology books, I'm thinking, there's no way that all of this stuff just magically works by itself by accident. Something had to have created us because I don't believe that evolutionary mumbo jumbo that we just created from a piece of carbon. Sorry, we're too unique and amazing for this just to be like that. ATP, thanks, Bold and Brash Man. Let me
Oh,
go
the
back to some of
chat
these
has a
other.
lot of
Wow. Obviously, he's opening his arms for you. We should pray for everything bagel. We should pray for everything bagel.
everything bagel is the user that texted about everything
Thank you. I
bagel.
was a little bit confused by that. I thought we were saying everyone should pray for the everything bagel at the local deli. Rocco Love is asking your thoughts on the American justice system. So I'm a lawyer, so I'll start with that. And I loved the American justice system a lot more than I do right now. In the last 15 years, I have lost a lot of respect for it. I think there is a two-tiered level of justice, justice for some people and injustice for others. I used to be a public defender where I would defend people who were allegedly committing felonies. And I saw some injustice there. And I try not to be political on the channel. I'm trying to look at things objectively. And if any of you stopped watching because I mentioned the name Donald Trump, that's a problem because you shouldn't just leave when someone talks about Donald Trump. As an attorney and someone who's a public defender, the way that Donald Trump is treated versus the way Hunter Biden is treated and the way Joe Biden is treated, we are living in two different countries. Anyone who is a reasonable lawyer who understands criminal defense and criminal litigation knows that what is happening to Donald Trump right now is really disgusting. And I'm really scared for the United States because we are devolving into a criminal justice system that is like a third world country. And it's just not so cool. That's my take. Federico.
For American, I'll give another perspective, the perspective from a business owner. I had myself a dispute in a company that I own with a former business partner, which I really cannot discuss, but because it's something that we were able to resolve amicably. And the thing connecting to the American justice system is that it really makes things solve things fast. And why do I say this? I say this because I'm originally from Italy, and in Italy, it's very bad. It's very long. My father had also a problem in court because somebody supplied to his company a machinery that wasn't working too well, wasn't etc. So he had to do a whole thing. But after years and a lot of evidence, he was able he lost the case after so many years of waiting, of paying lawyers, and just like having things, staying open for so long. But here, I was able to, get my lawyer, my partner's lawyer, to talk to each other and everything very fast. In a matter of months, I was able to solve the dispute that I had, and the deadlines were there in place in order for this not to go for too long. So I would say it's fast, it's fast, it's efficient for business owners, small business owners, and I think that's kind of another take on the question, different than the way you answered. But
And
connecting
I
to
think
what
that's
you
interesting
said,
because
it's definitely a big problem what we're seeing now when it comes
yeah, I think
to.
that's interesting. When Federico came here, probably about 10 years ago, is that about right? I mean, he saw such a huge improvement on the legal system from Italy. I saw the legal system that America had 20 years ago, and I'm comparing that to today, and it is really concerning. And I think this is also why a lot of Black Americans are starting to support Trump, and Hispanic Americans are also support. They are, and this is just a fact. I mean, as a criminal defense attorney, who are most of the people who I were defending? Who are the people who were mostly committing felonies and misdemeanors? Blacks and Hispanics. That being said, a lot of them are seeing in Trump that many times they are potentially treated differently by the legal system. And now people are going, oh my gosh, Donald Trump, who's a rich white male, is being treated the way that we are treated. And so Federico is also seeing that. Let me ask you this, Federico. Do you think where you see the United States legal system going now, is it getting close to what it is in Italy or worse, or is it
Mm,
still better than Italy?
I don't think you will ever get to the level of Italy because Italy is as such. I think is the thing about the two systems is that Italy has is such an old country with so many things that were in place so long ago that I think um, can't really be replaced because of the bureaucracy is very strong. The government is very strong in Italy. For example, you still have people that are paid a salary to, they're called the walkers, to walk and take documents and walk to the other office and bring them to them. You know what I mean? Things like this. There's still a lot of inefficiency in the government that could be automated.
Is there corruption? Is there corruption in the Italian legal system?
Not, not. I would say there is, but not accessible to regular citizens. I think is at very high levels. I think um, when the stakes are really high. But not that, I can run over somebody like in some third world countries, right? I can run over somebody in the car and then I pay the right people and I get away with it. That's not.
When I say corruption, I'm saying like corruption that I see that we have now in the American legal system, where it's being
Oh,
politicized and people are being targeted based on political beliefs, and they're
yeah,
using the legal system as a weapon to take out opponents.
that happened actually with one of our right wing prime ministers called Berlusconi. Silvio Berlusconi was, I think, he was kind of like the Trump of Italy when it comes to focusing the politics on economic development, helping small business owners and business owners rather than giving too much power to the government. Those kind of concepts. So it was kind of the Trump of Italy, and he had a very long and exhaust
Mm-hmm.
exhaust. He was exhausted by this super long
Exhausted by
legal,
the end.
right, by this long legal battle, to the point that he always said that in every Saturday he had
So
to spend
for
lunch and the
those of
whole
you who are
afternoon
just
with.
joining, one of our members in the chat, Rocco, asked about the American legal system and our thoughts on it. It switched to Federico talking about his comparison of the American legal system to the Italian legal system. In the interest of time, we're going to switch gears again because we don't want to bore anyone with any particular topic for too long. Mr. Goodcat, I'd like to discuss the struggles of becoming a man and handling
Okay.
responsibilities and such. I grew up fast due to kids, but I see so many young men that struggle with this. So I would say, I think becoming a man is difficult for anyone. Some people have a more pressing need to become a man and grow up because of the life events that happen to them. For example, if your father dies young, you need to become the father of the family. If you have kids young, you got to step up and be responsible for those kids. And I would say that for me, I didn't have any of those issues. My struggle was that I did not learn about money until years after I graduated college. And I guess as soon as I started graduating college and I got home, and I finally got my first job and how to make money. And I didn't have a checking account until the first year after I graduated college. And it's amazing. I look back and I see kids who have got jobs, who had jobs during summer in middle school and in high school, or part time jobs while they were in school. If I have kids, and I hope I do one day, I am forcing them to get a job as soon as they are legally able to get one, because I think that would be, it helps to build so many skills: financial skills, responsibility, ability to work with banks, ability to keep track of numbers. That's my take. How about you, Federico? What's your advice for on how a boy can become a man?
I think the main thing, regardless of the situation you're in, I think the becoming a man just means that no matter what, you have to get up every day and face difficulties, solve problems, and keep quote unquote grinding because the bills don't stop coming. The unexpected problems will happen, like a flat tire or a plumbing problem, things like that. So because you have to sustain yourself, you have to survive, and you have all these responsibilities, and there could be more or less. But the essence, I think, is that you have to keep going, no matter your mood, no matter if you're happy or not happy. You have to get up and try to bring value to society somehow in a way that then you're able to sustain yourself. And
I think that's beautifully said. Keep going every day. Figure out a way to contribute to society, and and piggybacking on that, it I have a PhD in psychology, and I struggle with depression myself, as Federico knows, and a lot of struggles in my life. You have to keep going even if you don't feel like it. You have to keep going even if you're depressed. You have to keep going even if you feel like a loser sometimes. Federico feels like a loser sometimes, and he reaches out to me. I feel like a loser sometimes. I reach out to him. And each one of you watching, you feel like a loser sometimes. And if you don't, you're not trying hard enough. Because, why do we feel like losers? Because the world that we're trying to create does not match the world that we're currently living in. And that's what makes progress. That's what pushes us to drive forward, is that we have a vision in our head of what our lives should be like, how successful our business should be. By the way, if you're new to the stream, please click like. That helps us get more viewers to come watch
And
us.
also,
And please,
don't worry that we'll get
wait,
to
wait.
all the comments. Yeah, because I think the comments are piling. There's
Oh, they're
a lot of
piling
them.
up. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh. All right. Should God be referred to as he or she? I personally refer it. Uh, I don't have an opinion on that, actually, because I just don't know. And if you're Christian, Jesus was a man. He's a historical figure. He existed, and he was male. So I guess Christians assume that he was male. Or Jesus could be the son of God. Maybe God is a woman. Or I think you're right that it should be an it, because God is not human. But at the same time, supposedly Jesus Christ was made in the image of God, and we are made in the image of God. But maybe that just means in our heart, in our soul. Maybe it's not a physical manifestation. Federico,
But
he's she or it.
you could answer this question by seeing directly what the Bible says, which I'm not sure in this moment. That's one way to answer the question. But if I would have to think about it right now, I would say that yeah, it could embrace both the protective and the provider masculine figure, but also a nurturing, more motherly um, figure as well. So he, she.
I think that was a good answer. I think it was good. I think maybe God has, to summarize what Federico said, and correct me if I'm wrong, God probably has the positive characteristics of men and the positive characteristics of woman and the warm, cuddly characteristics of little Dancer,
Yeah.
my mom's dog and my dog. Um, Turn on Do Not Disturb. Store as products. So where do we do not? Isn't Do Not Disturb the same thing as silent mode, or is that not the same thing?
Oh no, do not disturb is actually really good because you won't get notifications at all. Actually, yeah, that's. I thought you turned that one on.
Can I just swiped up from the bottom of my phone. Is there Do Not Disturb on there, or do you have to go somewhere else? Is it called
Uh,
Focus?
yes, turn down. It's like a moon, a little moon.
Okay, I just pressed Do Not. No, that didn't work because the it turned off the speaker, and I couldn't hear you guys.
Mm,
So we'll have to figure this out. We'll
yeah.
figure that out.
At the end,
Everything Bagel says, I know God is real. I was wondering what people say about him. Awesome. Carson thinks it's a he. Bolden Brashman, why he? TWF, I agree that even animals have human eyes, which is sobering because you realize every creature has humans like eyes and living systems are complex. I just read this article, I think it was in Smithsonian magazine, uh,
about the
about
fish.
about the fish. I sent that to Federico, and they're constantly coming up with new understandings. There's a bunch of noise coming in. Is that coming from you, Federico?
Yeah, that's the chair.
Oh, okay. No, but it doesn't sound like the chair. It sounds like, anyway, we can hear that pretty loud. And the
Again?
fish apparently have,
Yes.
yes, yeah. So stop
Maybe
moving.
maybe if I get AirPods.
Oh,
Let's
if
see.
you put on your earphones, maybe that'll work.
Yeah.
Anyway, this article about fish, because think about how many fish get caught every day in the ocean. And I saw a video on YouTube. What wanted me to do research on this? I saw a video on a shorts on YouTube of this fish trawler pulling up a net of thousands of fish, and it came up, and you saw all of them flapping in the net, and it went on the deck of the boat, and they just let them suffocate. And I used to fish when I was a child with my father and on the lake. And I thought, now that I'm learning about biology and all this, I started to do a Google search to find out what's happening with these fish. And now they have, it's still a debate, but they think that fish might actually be suffocating, and it maybe actually causes pain. Maybe they can feel it. So now there are new methods to create ways to go do fishing that kill the fish humanely, so they're not suffering if they are.
Yeah, that's always
What?
mm,
He's drinking. I agree. Even
that's always
animals
something important to keep in
to
mind,
consider.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's weird. I mean, yeah, dogs are a lower level of biological life complexity than humans, but we know that dogs can feel pain. Fish are certainly less complex than dogs, and I'm
Right. I mean,
sure.
I think when it comes to physiology, close because they also have enzymes and the nervous system. But I think, yeah, when it comes to cognition, obviously, and intelligence, yes, that's where.
Mhm. So anyway, that's an interesting thought. Just how it is, bro. Mankind, men are the top. So it was God. God is a him. God is him. It's how it isn't a good reason. I get it though. It's tradition. I think God as a being is too complex to be referred to as a gender. You very well may be
Yeah.
right, bold and brash man. And as I always say, there's nothing that I or Federico or any of my guests say on here that is, pun intended, the gospel truth,
Right.
right? We're
We're
giving our
discussing. We're trying
perspectives.
to. Yeah, we're trying to give perspective, try to explain things, and maybe give you guys a whole, maybe a different lens through see things. Or oh, I didn't think about that. Or
And if we can do that, we've done our job. And read the Bible, then you'll know why he is called he. You're right, everything bagel.
ah,
And but I guess if there's someone Muslim here, they would say that, oh, you should read the Quran, or the Jew would say you should read the Torah. And I'm Christian myself, so I have a bias towards that. But this is the issue of religion, and remember that God transcends religion in the sense that every religion has one unifying factor, which is there is a God, and
yeah,
supposedly the same God of the Christians is the same God of Muslims and is the same God of Jews. So in some ways, it's better maybe to look at what are these similarities rather than what are these differences. Again, food for thought. Perfect. I've read the Bible many times. Beautiful. I grew up in the church and graduated from a Christian school. I'm allowed to ask questions. I'm allowed to question tradition.
yeah.
Bolden Brashman, you're allowed to question tradition even if you didn't grow up in church and even if you didn't graduate from a Christian school. Everyone is entitled to question tradition. I have a company called Break Diving. It's a not-for-profit. We'd love you to subscribe to that channel too. It's called Break Diving. And that motto for that company, the motto, the Break Divers Creed is no rules, no excuses, no regrets. That no rules part means forget tradition. Tradition is just the reason why people do things. It doesn't mean it's the best way to continue to do things. I agree. Word. Shout out, please, to URFA volleyball girl. I hope you're still here in the chat because we gave you the shout out. Bolden Brashman, there's still people serving many year sentences for petty drug possession charges. Correct. That's an injustice. And meanwhile, there are certain people who have done heinous crimes, but because they're politically powerful, they get off. And that's what I'm talking about, the two-tier justice, or people who are just wealthy and not cool. I don't think anyone, because of money or because of their fame or their political connections, should be able to get a lighter sentence than somebody who is not famous. Uh, Everything bagel. I want to see what people think it means is Latin. Don't Google it. What happens to be predominantly of a lower socioeconomic status? Correct, but again, nothing is so black and white. It's not. Crime is not affiliated directly with lower socioeconomic status. You have to think why are people sometimes crime is also affiliated with one parent households where children are growing up without a father. This is indisputable that is one of the reasons. So it's not just lower socioeconomic status. even if you have high socioeconomic status, you can still become a criminal. You can still break
If
the
you
law.
hang out with, of course, if you find yourself with the wrong people and in the wrong group and belonging to that's exactly it. It's not because the race causes that. It's the living condition where you happen to be born, and what's the culture in the neighborhood, and what's, you know what I mean.
And
That's
yeah, I agree. I'm just looking at his follow-up comment. He says it has nothing to do with socioeconomics and nothing to do with race, brass, or tax. Absolutely, it has to do with all of these different things. For whatever reason, black children are statistically far more likely to grow up in a single parent household, more so than Hispanics and more so than whites and more so than Asians. So that is, if you are a black child, statistically you are more likely to grow up in a single parent household, and therefore you're more likely to potentially not have the guidance that you need from a father figure. Somebody else was asking about how do you grow up from a boy to a man. I love my mother, and my mother taught me many things. And in many ways, my mother was more my father than my mother. But I still learned so much from my father because he got up every morning. He worked his ass off for his family. He made enough money to support me, my mother, the rest of the people in my family. And I learned from that. Now, could I also have learned that from my mother if she had been working very hard? 100%. So there are certain single parent households that raise amazing children, but they're able to juggle both roles of the nurturing mother and the provider father. Some women provide for their children financially. Some fathers are the nurturing person in someone's lives. Many girls have a better relationship with their fathers than their mothers. Same thing with some boys. They have better relationship with their mothers than fathers. So it is not as simple as it has everything to do with socioeconomics and nothing to do with race, brass, tax. I think they are part and parcel. And I think statistics tend to show that they are completely related. Federico, thoughts?
again, if you're born and your friends act in a certain way, your school has a lot of you know incidents of troubled behavior, and you're born there, then you're likely to absorb that, unless you happen somehow to find a mentor or something, or a sport or something, a coach, somebody that really gets you out of trouble, focuses your energies um, in some
Let me ask
productive
you
way.
that
Hmm.
Federico is saying it's important that you have a mentor, and that again that goes beyond socioeconomics. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic status; you could still become a criminal. There are very many. Federico and I run a private investigation firm here in Florida and in New York called Intertect. By the way, we just started the Intertect Global YouTube channel. If you search online for our YouTube for Intertect Global,
I'm telling you,
INT.
we have to
Wait,
try that
wait,
setup to do reaction videos and stuff like that.
yeah. Let me give them the link.
Hmm.
INTERTECT. Intertect with a T Global. You can subscribe to that channel. We had a case recently where a French woman had her passport stolen, and of course, she naturally assumed that it was just a common petty criminal who stole it. We were able to use her iPhone to track because her phone was stolen as well. We were able to find my iPhone and stuff to track where it was taken to, and it was a luxury condominium complex, very expensive, with a big gate here in Florida. And it was a shock to us, and but more particularly to our client, because we very quickly realized this was a very wealthy criminal who was probably selling passports, going into the clubs here in Florida, in Miami Beach, stealing passports from foreigners, and then going back and selling them on the black market and making enough money that this guy or girl, she thinks it was a guy, and we have some photos, was selling on the open. And that's how this person's able to afford this very expensive place. So again, crime can make someone in a low economic status become someone in high economic status. That person's still a criminal. And just because they get to high economic status doesn't mean that they're now going to leave the life of crime.
You
Go
know
ahead.
what's the thing? You know what could be also the thing is that if you are one of the minorities that, you look at the statistic, occupy a lot of space in jails. It could also be because people that are higher on high economic status, they get caught less or do crimes where they can hide more. They can have lawyers, have them avoid. But if you are, if you're in a poor neighborhood, your family's starving, so you try to or you rob whatever is your motivation to do a crime, then you're more likely to get caught and be thrown in jail. You can't afford a lawyer. You can't really, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's a very good point. The people who do white collar crimes are traditionally smarter, and not that much smarter because they still get caught too. Criminals tend to get caught. The question is,
Yeah,
are they going to get
of course.
prosecuted properly, and
Right.
are they going to receive the scales of justice the same as somebody else who may be in a different status or have more money, this or that? Let's look at the
That's the thing.
comments.
That's the problem. Yeah.
They do the crimes, but they're the poorest. But as Federico said, it may not because they're doing the poorest. There are wealthy people committing crimes, but they may not be getting caught as often.
The
The
poorest are
more
just more likely to get caught and do crimes that require them to physically maybe go out and do something themselves instead of hiding behind a computer or hiding behind shell companies and accountants and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
think about that. This is undeniable. Another legal fact: the border is completely open right now in the southern border. More illegal immigrants have been pouring over into this country than in almost in any, not almost, in any presidency until now. Many of them are from Venezuela, the poorest people, and many of them horrible criminals. And Donald Trump was right about that. They're not the best and brightest coming over this border. They are some of the worst. And they are shooting cops in New York City. They are committing crimes. And they're most of these Venezuelans are part of this electric scooter gang in New York City that is terrorizing the people doing snatch and grabs. Now, these people are the poorest of the poor, but do you think they're working for themselves? No. They're working for a very wealthy, smart, quote unquote, criminal who is the mastermind behind this entire snatch and grab operation. And they are very likely not to get caught unless who is more likely to get caught and have to face criminal charges? The low level frontline criminals who are out on the street actually doing the snatch and grabs. Maybe NYPD can turn some of these folks into informants and they can slowly work their way up the ladder. But the people at the top are far less likely to get caught than the people who are daily doing the crimes, as Federico mentioned. Let's look at some more. My friend Doc Guevius, the James VII of Montgomery, died of ligma today. I don't know if that's a real person. If your friend did die, I'm sorry, and we send our condolences.
I don't know what's
Uh,
Ligma. I never heard of it
I don't know.
in
Someone is
four
saying he
years
is
though.
trolling. He may be doing that. Man, you lost me when you said blacks and Hispanics to the most crimes without giving the reasoning for it, unless I missed something. Again, this is my experience as a public defender for 2 years in New York City. Who were the people who were my clients the most? The blacks and Hispanics. Now, you could argue, well, the wealthy white folks who were committing the crimes could afford
They have their own
a
lawyers.
private
Yeah.
attorney. But this is true also if we're talking about these low level crimes, the shoplifting, most of them are statistically just, it's a fact. They're
I
black and
think I think you
Hispanic.
can look up the statistics of who is housed in jail, right? The jail populations,
But the
prison
jail
population.
population also is not accurate because the people who cannot post bail are the ones who are in jail,
See,
right?
see.
So
So it comes down
it's
to it does
possible.
comes down to money. Yeah.
So, but my point, Bolden Brashman, if you are still here, is it is very complex. And I understand what you were saying. I didn't say that blacks and Hispanics across the board do more. As a public defender in New York, most of the people who I were representing were blacks and Hispanics. Okay. Kenneth Contois, do you remember me? Of course, Kenneth, you're a moderator on the channel. Of course, we're going to remember you. And Mr. Goodcat, the biggest thing that helped me was kicking the friends I had out of my life and surrounding myself with the guys I wanted to be like and looked up to. 100%. You need to find people that it's been known, and this is true. Think of the 5 people who you surround yourself with the most. This is not a hard and fast rule, but the combined success of those 5 people is where you are headed. So if you spend the 5 people who you spend most of your day with are criminals, you are very likely to start becoming a criminal yourself. If the 5 people who you spend the most time with are all millionaire real estate investors, don't you realize that eventually you're probably going to become a millionaire real estate investor? And this is why I want my channel to be very broad. I want to bring on lots of guests. You saw my friend Zane. You see Federico now, who's a returning guest. I want to, and my topics change all the time. Sometimes it's about psychology. Sometimes it's the law. Sometimes it's politics. Sometimes it's science. Sometimes it's music. I just want people to be exposed to good stuff, so that if you spend an hour on a live stream with me and Federico, great. Part of your day was spent with me and Federico, and we hope that we are positive influences on your life and are helping you. And Bolden Brashman, if you're not going to address what I said, I'm gone. You can't bring up race, crime scenes without bringing up socioeconomics. It looks very racist, and kind of is. Okay, I think we addressed that. If we didn't, please let me know. Do you remember me, Kenneth? All right, I'm removing Kenneth as a moderator. Remove a standard moderator because he's clearly starting to be kind of annoying. He took the statistics out of context. Okay. Mr. Goodcat, he was speaking from personal experience about when he used to represent them and was saying that know that these injustices are happening to a rich white man. It's persuading them to support him. So thank you for understanding the whole gist of what I was saying. I identify as a Jew. What are you even talking about? Message retracted. I was trying to kill a gnat.
What's that? Let me Google
it. A gnat is a bug. I have no idea what you are talking about, but I'll leave that for now. Greetings from Belgium.
I was just chilling and.
What's up, Belgium warrior? Good to see you. Rocco Love, when I asked the American justice question, I had no idea who you guys are. Found you random. You turn out to be an attorney. So who are you guys? Rocco, are you still here? I don't want to answer a question for somebody who's still not in the chat. And it says there are 3 people still here. If you are still in the chat, please let us know who you are.
We can give you the full answer.
Okay, you're here.
Yeah, you're
so who are you guys? So first of all, Federico and I are good friends. We both live in Miami Beach. Number 2, I'm an attorney. Also have a PhD in psychology. I have an MBA in finance. I have a number of YouTube channels. And I'm also a musician. And about a week and a half ago, I started YouTube living after being a YouTuber for 20 years and not finding a great audience. I finally today, or a week and a half ago, found YouTube Live and realized I'm getting a bunch of watch time, getting lots of subscribers, and able to share my perspective on a lot of things. Federico is a web developer, cybersecurity expert, and he's also a licensed private investigator like myself. He is a licensed private investigator intern in Florida. He and I work together at Intertect, which is a private investigation firm licensed in New York and Florida. I also run Break Diving, which is a global not-for-profit personal growth community where we accomplish impossible goals together. And I'm eventually going to put the links to Intertect and Break Diving in the description, but for now, you can just Google them both. So I hope that answers your question. And Mr. Goodcat, have you ever considered letting people call in? Or would that just be a nightmare?
That'd be cool.
That sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And we would have to figure out a way. Does your software, the OBJ, or what was the name of it?
OBS.
Does the OBS allow people to call in?
Look, that's. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. One second.
And
Let me set it
and
up.
but while Federico was looking there, if you haven't clicked like yet, we'd love you to do that. If you haven't subscribed, we'd love you to do that. And what I do is I bring on different guests. I usually I'm just by myself, but I'll bring on guest co-hosts here and there. And so I guess we lost that other guy, Mr. or Bold and Brash Man, for whatever. And he says you can't bring up the black and Hispanic without bringing up socioeconomic status. I think he's also mistaken because it's far more than socioeconomic status. Like I said, it's about whether you're growing up in a single parent household. It matters who your siblings are. It matters what type of education you get. It matters if you drop out of high school. It matters if you have a mentor, like Federico mentioned. I mean, there are so many reasons why. And as he said, my experience as a public defender is that they were primarily black and Hispanic. But that also applies to private attorneys as well. They have also found that if you look at the statistics, petty crime is not usually, uh, unfortunately, it's not usually, I'm not saying unfortunately, it's just a fact. Petty crime is not usually predominantly white. And again, you might say, oh, because it's again socioeconomic status. A lot of a lot of the whites who do commit petty crime, guess what? They are wealthy. And there are blacks and Hispanics who have money who still shoplift. There's psychology involved as well. You would be blown away by how many really successful people who have massive amounts of money still go shoplifting. There's a term called kleptomaniac, which is somebody who has this
Loves to
weird
do it.
lust. They love to steal. Guess what? It has nothing to do with socioeconomic status. In that case, they just want to steal. And that's why I said you may start off as being a poor criminal, but if you become wealthy, are you magically going to stop? Does the mafia stop doing crime because they're now making millions of dollars? No, they love this crime. They love this power. They don't just give it up. I mean, you see in movies, they try to get out of it eventually, and we hope that everyone who's running a criminal enterprise finally says, okay, I need to stop doing this. It's not safe for me. It's not safe for my family. It's not good for the economy. And Mr. Goodscat is saying that you could use a Discord server. That's something that
That's
we can
true.
look into. So, Federico, we can look into that.
Very widely used by YouTubers to get a community, voice channels where people just jump in, talk. Yeah, that's true.
So that's fascinating. Maybe we could figure out a way to do that. Some people just have words that trigger them, and then all logic goes out
Yeah.
the window. Yeah, I know. Look, I've learned again. If any of you are interested in doing YouTube Live or doing anything that involves talking about something, you're going to lose audience every time you say something. And with the live streams, you'll notice they'll always start out with maybe sometimes I had like 40 people, and then it ends up with 10. This started with about 12 people. Now we're down to 2 or 3. I don't care because every time we do the live streams, we're getting more and more likes. We get more and more subscribers. So eventually we will have a very clear audience of people who really love us. And you can't change what you talk about for the haters. You need to focus on the people who are still here, the people who care about you. And this applies just to life in general. Don't change who you are for the people who hate you. Don't change who you are for the people who criticize you. Again, we just lost somebody. We had 4, now we're at 3. I'm not going to change what we're talking about because somebody left. I'm going to keep talking.
Also,
Yeah, go ahead.
something that I got from a marketing book, the one we got at Barnes and Nobles, it's do not try to appeal to everybody because you're just up for, know who, what kind of niche and kind of the types of people you kind of want to help. Because if you try to please everybody, it's a lot of disappointments and a lot of.
And I'll add to that, to summarize that, there's a quotation from Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of the United States. He said, You can please some of the people all of the time. You can please all of the people some of the time. You can never please all of the people all of the time. And it's a wonderful thing for you to keep in mind. It's important for me to keep in mind. Can I always improve? Yes. Can I also maybe rephrase the things I say to not piss off fewer people? Of course. But it's impossible to try to please everybody. Yeah, Jesus couldn't get
Yeah, he
everyone
had
to
a good
like him,
one
so
there.
how can we do it? Yeah, a
Yeah,
hundred
a good one.
percent. And I am the first person to admit when I am wrong. If I see a new statistic that changes, we were just talking about the statistics about who's committing the most crime and why. Share it with me.
Yeah, that's why
I,
we really pay attention to the chat. We want this not to be a one-way thing when we're speaking, like to preachers. We just want to discuss and touch on topics that I think they're
but
important
yeah, that are
and
important,
interesting to explore. It's an exploration.
uh, and I've learned from you guys, and Federico learns from me. I learned from Federico. So we're here not only just to, again, as Federico said, we're not here to force our ideas on anybody. We want to create a discussion. I'm sorry that other guy left, because I think he would have learned something from us, and we probably could have learned more from him as well. But off he went. Rocco says, "I would think you would have a lot more." There's a guy on this and is scrolling through his phone, and he has 240 people watching. I tell you, we're on the right track, and we're honored and touched that you say that about us and think that we are interesting. But anything takes time. Can I tell you this? I got in the last year, before last week, I got something like 40 new YouTube subscribers in the last 365 days. Before the last week, in the last 7 days, exclude those 45. In the last 7 days, because I started doing live streaming, 192. 192 subscribers on this channel just by doing these live streams. And we've got these likes.
You can fill up an auditorium with them, right? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
190 people. It's a lot of people.
a lot of people, and it's growing. And not only are we getting watch time from this, but when the video gets posted again, I'm getting additional watch time on this channel. And so, Rocco, we're getting there. And soon, again, Federico and I, and you know, when I do it with Zane tomorrow at 7:30 p.m., Federico and I will be back. Not Federico and I'll be back with special guest Zane again. And Federico will be back. We're all learning. Federico found some cool things to improve the stream.
Well, let me
I
show
just
you
got
a little
this
bit.
ring light over there. That is,
Let me show you something. So this is called OBS. So it will be me and you could be like, I know it's the same camera, but me and you could be
oh,
down here and I could stream like YouTube and we could play videos and pause and comment and kind of do all that stuff or share whatever I can have in the browser, you know? And then if somebody wants to call in, I just get in the audio from Discord and I kind of like put it all together. So that's
well.
an option.
Here's the question: can you do that if you're a co-host?
No, it has to. The software has to stream to your YouTube channel. So the software would need to, I think, authenticate into your channel, so it could start a live stream and pipe kind of like
But if it
everything at
authenticates
once.
through me, it could still go through your computer. You're saying?
Yeah, it just sends the stream to your YouTube channel instead of.
Okay. All right. So we will certainly look into this.
Yeah, we have to
Uh,
do a few tests. So
mhm, beautiful. And is there any other topic that any? I think there's just two of you, Mr. Good Cat and Rocco. Well, let's ask about you guys. Where do you both live? Is there something you can share about your lives so we get to know you a little bit better? That would be interesting.
mhm.
And while we're waiting for you guys to type, I just did a YouTube live with my music. That's live now on my channel as a video. It went far better than I ever could have expected. I did a 40-minute stream. I got 3.5 hours of watch time of people liking and listening to my music. So awesome. And we also, Intertech has a fundraiser. We're not for profit for one of our clients, Natalie, whose daughter was abducted. and is now in Dubai. If you go to the Intertech Global YouTube channel, you'll be able to find the link to that fundraiser to help our client in Dubai be reunited with her very young daughter. So I'm still waiting. I guess Mr. Goodcat and Rocco do not want to share something public
They're
with
undercover.
us. Federico, is there something? Oh, there we go. Mr. Goodcat, I am from Texas. I have 4 children. I'm 34. I have boy girl twins who are
Wow.
16, a son that is 15, and my younger daughter is 14. Wow. We're giving you a thumbs up. So that is amazing that you've got 4 children, and cool that you have a boy girl twins. That's exciting. And
Yeah, I'm 32.
and I'm
I'm
46.
34.
If you combine us together, we're sort of your age. And no, wait, is
No,
that
he's
right? Yeah.
34. He's 34.
Yeah, so if we combine us and divide by 2, we get to like
Oh,
30,
divide by two. Yeah,
like
yeah.
by 30, 38 maybe or something as a
Yep.
39. You're 32. Cannot believe that, Federico. You're so young compared to me. And I feel like I'm 21 years old still. It's absolutely bonkers.
Mhm.
Mr. Birdcat, when I found out I had twins, I was working minimum
Wow.
wage. Wow, Mr. Goodcat. Hey, let me ask you this. If you were interested, Mr. Goodcat, uh, would love to have you as a guest on here. I think a lot of people would, parents would love to hear your experience talking with me about that having finding out you have twins and you're working a minimum wage job at $7.25 an hour. So if you are ever interested, uh, yeah, for sure, awesome. What do I need you to do? Can you please leave a comment on one of my videos and just let me know, hey, it's Mr. Goodcat. I'm the guy who wanted to do a live stream.
Or
And
just in case, you can also maybe fill out a contact form in one of your websites or
yeah,
something,
maybe
right? On Monroe Man. Just in case,
maybe,
just as a plan B, in case
yeah, or
you
just
get.
go to monroeman.com. You'll find my email there or a contact form. Send me an email and let me know.
Yeah, it's either that
MONRO.
or comment under this video once it gets posted live. So at least here you have two options if the comment wasn't.
Yeah, I think that would be a really fascinating story. So let's talk more about that. We'd love to hear about your drastic life changes. I was going to ask you to share it in the comments, but I think it's better to actually be on this on you now to reach out to me and let me know that you're interested. I'm not going to hound you and ask if it's something you want to do. You let me know. And who else is on here? Rocco Love, 28 years old, live at the Jersey Shore. Was in real estate. Now I'm a full-time cam model, making more money than I ever made. I'm sorry if you have underage viewers.
Is Monroe just disappeared? Hey, where did he go? Don't tell me that the battery on his phone died. Okay. Yeah, he's just where is he's gone. Okay, I'll take it over from here. It's okay, 20 out cam model making more money than ever made. Okay. The cam yeah, exactly. As an attorney, I cannot believe. Uh, that's crazy. Cam models, so live streaming too. I'm guessing it's uh, adult entertainment. I mean, it's I can say it's everybody um, is free to make money the way they please if it's something as long as it's something that you enjoy doing, which is the important thing. Um, I absolutely love it, and it's better to be behind the camera than to actually do other things that might be. At least you're Monroe. I can
Oh my
hear you.
God.
What happened?
When someone's calling and leaving me a voicemail, it freezes everything. So,
Yeah.
guys, we have to figure out a way. I don't know what to do when I'm on my phone here. Is it airplane mode?
So airplane mode you can so when you first enable airplane mode, it disables everything, but then you can just enable Wi-Fi, so you have airplane mode and Wi-Fi. There it is.
Everything up.
But you have to.
Too.
But if you turn on airplane mode and then you turn on the Wi-Fi separately, can you try that?
I'm scared if I do airplane mode, it'll disconnect me completely.
And then the live stream gets
So
interrupted.
maybe what we should try is what next time we do a live stream in those 2 minutes before any viewers come, we could do it then.
So I think so. Two things: one, airplane mode and Wi-Fi, and the other one is do not disturb the focus mode. And then somehow you have to find a way to re-enable the speakers or bring the volume up
Yeah,
or
I will
something.
figure that out later. So does cam model, does that mean OnlyFans type of thing? Is that what he's talking about?
Probably, yeah. Probably, yeah.
And so good for you for making a good living.
I mean, as a male, is really hard. I'm imagining because obviously women,
yeah, I will.
women of course, but as a man.
Yeah, I will just say this that for any of the younger folks watching, my advice is do not create an OnlyFans account when you're older, and not to say that what Rocco is doing is wrong, but I think you should try to find a different way to make your living, because I don't want you to over sexualize yourself, and that's an individual decision that any of you make. And like I said, Rocco, good for you, but I would recommend you do a YouTube live channel instead, doing video games or playing guitar or something like that. But let's see, uh, is Rocco still here, or is he insulted that I told?
A good cat says it needs to set up a PC with a webcam. No phone, a smartphone with the front camera. It's what I'm using, and I think that's the best way to go live. Yeah.
And so, what is a cam model? Can you just share that?
It's basically
Share
what
what
we're
that is?
doing, but without clothes.
Yeah,
Pretty
let me say,
much.
are you
It's
without
adult
clothes? Is
entertainment
that what you
live.
mean? Cam
It's
model?
adult entertainment live, and people tip as the show goes, and some
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay, I can understand not doing great in real estate. It's a very tough field, and let me ask you, Rocco, do you feel mm, appreciated and satisfied and enriched and fulfilled by making your money as a cam model? Or is it something that would you like to go back to doing something else at some point? Just curious. And but I'm very happy though that you're 28 years old and the other is 34, because for a while I was just attracting an audience of younger folks, like 10 to 15 years old, which is amazing. I'm happy to help anybody. Everybody needs support and education, but it's also nice to know that what I'm talking about, and with special guest Federico, that it's bringing other more mature audiences as well. And I think Rocco. I hope I didn't offend Rocco. Rocco, did we offend you?
No,
Hope not.
I'm a little bit more. I mean, I'm more accepting. I think he's okay. He's at least he's behind the webcam, and I mean, as long as again, like you said, you're doing this, accepting the fact that you're gonna have on the internet these things. Um, if as long as you know that, and in the future things might come up. Mm, maybe no, maybe yes. It's a risk as long as you know that, and that's it. It's your if you want to be that type of it's entertainer. That's still something that I'm a little bit
Absolutely.
more.
I will add that, Rocco, if you're still listening, or if anyone is still listening that's interested in real estate, guys, start a YouTube live channel, because I think you can, when you start becoming an expert in real estate and you're talking about it, I think the hardest thing with real estate is getting the clients. That's
Hmm.
it. It's not once you got a client, if you just focus and take people to viewings, and to get a good reputation, eventually you'll get a listing. and someone's going to hire you to be their real estate agent. And if you have a YouTube live, you'll be able to talk about each deal as you're going. And I will tell you this though about the YouTube live, it is exhausting and it takes a lot of work. I have been doing 3 to 4 live streams a day for the last week and a half, with many different special guests, sometimes doing music, sometimes talking like this about, and it's a lot of talking and it takes a lot of effort. But if you can do it, it's a great marketing tool. And Cheesy Nacho, what's up? Nice to see you again. I remember you. I've been thinking about real estate when I get a little older, haven't fully figured it out yet. Can I tell you this, Cheesy Nacho? Do not wait until you get a little older to try to start something. You're going. I always tell people this. When I teach people about entrepreneurship, they'll say, "Oh, I want to wait. I want to wait a year or two before I start my own business, or I want to wait till I have the perfect business to start it." Entrepreneurship is so hard. You're going to make so many mistakes. The time to make mistakes is not on your dream business. It's on some super business that you start right now. And guess what? There's probably going to be a 3-year learning curve anyway. For me with YouTube, it's been a 20-year learning curve. And after 20 years of mistakes, I'm finally figuring it out and finally figuring out how to get fans and supporters and likes and subscribers on a daily basis. In the last week, 190 subscribers. And that's going to go exponentially higher as more and more people subscribe and tune in and things like that. So let me just, as a follow up, you said I'm working as a smoker at a barbecue place. I'm 22. Cheesy One Nacho, the best time to start your entrepreneurial journey is what day, Federico?
Now, today.
Today.
And I want to connect to something you said that, for the people that says I don't have money yet, or I don't have enough money to start the business that I want, because it goes, okay, maybe you're right. To start the business that you want to do, maybe you do need money, but what you can start doing now is maybe start a website, a blog or something, and write about it, start getting, start creating, start establishing yourself as somebody that is learning, or is becoming wants to become an authority in a certain niche. And starting a website is very cheap. Starting to get people subscribing to you, reading your articles, or like you said, doing videos, that's the first step you can do to any business. Because then when you do get the money to open your business, guess what, those are going to be maybe your first supporters or your first stuff. And maybe the fact that you've been writing and you've been creating content on that niche allowed you to grow that knowledge. And then when you're ready to start, now you have all that knowledge that you were able to
I will say,
on.
don't wait until you're ready to start. Do everything Federico said. Start doing blogging, start doing YouTube live, start a YouTube channel, and start your business today. Like Cheesy Nacho, go take the real estate license exam today. Or the exam licensing course. It's going to take you a little bit of time to take the course. Take the exam. Get your real
Binge on
estate license.
YouTube about do YouTube binging on, like, obviously to a limit, because then you can get into a cycle of just watching tutorials and learning but never getting action. That's also something that maybe that might be a whole separate topic of discussion. But yeah, just binge, immerse yourself in, definitely with content that.
So for those of you who are
give you
just
knowledge.
joining us, we are usually I create a topic for the whole live stream. For some reason today I just did Together Again, Federico and Monroe. I'm Monroe. That is Federico over there. And we're just basing our topics on the chat box, on what is going on in the chat. So we've been
Oh, by the
talking
way, I have
about.
to go in a little bit.
I have to go in a little bit. I have to go.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I want to try, see what happens. Are you able to exit the live stream?
Yes.
Let's just try to do that now as an experiment to see what happens when you leave, if I'm able to continue doing the stream by
Yeah, I think
myself.
so. Let's see.
So let's say goodbye to Federico. I'm going to keep going for about another 5 minutes. and just wrap everything up, and let's just see if this keeps going after you leave. See you, Federico.
Cool.
Great to
Thank
have
you
you.
so much, guys, for your time. Thank you,
Oh, and
everybody. It was
please
a
subscribe to
pleasure. It was very fun.
Federico's channel as well. He's engineering with Fed.
Thank you,
All right,
guys. Bye.
let's see what's going to happen. Beautiful. Hey, it's still going live. Great to see you guys. Mr. Goodcat's still here. Cheesy Nacho, and I guess four or five others. And thrilled to have you. What did we talk about? Just a general summary is I know some of the things we talked about is the criminal justice system in America and how that compares with that in Italy. Had a little argument with somebody in the chat who was upset with the way that I was describing things. So that was interesting. And we talked about real estate and in general, anytime you want to start a business, just start it. And or if you say no, I have to wait till I'm ready to start this one, it has to be perfect, then fine. Just start any business. Start any business and start failing because you're going to make tons of mistakes. I made 20 years of mistake on YouTube here before I finally figured this thing out. And now I'm getting live, I'm getting subscribers, getting likes, and just it's skyrocketing at this point. What's up, Mikhail? Great to see you. He's been a fellow supporter of mine for a while. And what times are you usually on? So I am Eastern time in the United States. And usually I try to do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then one in the evening. So sometimes it's around maybe 8 or 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Do something between like 1 and 4 p.m., and then do another one between 8 and 10 p.m. What's up, Gorilla Tag Boy? Good to see you again. Guys, thanks for clicking like. If you just joined, thank you, and be sure to share this with your friends. So if you should be able to find at least one time per day when I'm doing one of my live streams. Why am I doing so many of these live streams every day? Because I'm desperate. I wouldn't say desperate. I'm very eager to get to 3,000 watch hours as soon as possible so that I can again have the super chat where I could start making money from supporters like you because I cannot continue to do this if I have to go out and get another job. I just quit my job as an attorney, as an immigration attorney, about 4 months ago here in Miami. Horrible job. Never want to go back there or to any law firm again. I am loving this. I'm so happy I have an outlet. So the more you can do to watch my live streams, amazing. If you go back to my old live streams and watch them or even put them on in the background, guess what? It's going to help the watch time to get to 3,000 and then eventually 4,000 to open up the monetization for ads. I have like 400, 300 videos, maybe more on my YouTube channel that I've created over the last 20 years. Go watch some of them. It's incredible that I'm finally getting some recognition for doing YouTubing. It's been a long 20-year journey, my friends. This is why I'm constantly telling any of you to make Monroe full-time on YouTube. Thank you, Mikhail. You're going to fail when you start a business. Maybe you'll be one of the few lucky ones who chooses the right business at the right time in the right market with the right people at the right price with the right offer at the right sales pitch, and you just take off like a rocket. But the truth is, it's very unlikely. Most people who start businesses absolutely fail. At the same time, most millionaires in the United States, guess how they made their millions? By starting their own business. So it's absolutely worth it. I'm just telling you guys, stop delaying. Don't say, oh, I'm going to make an opportunity in the future, or I'm going to start a business when I'm older, or I'm going to finish this course first and then do it. Do it now. One of my favorite self-coined slogans: "Winners do it now." There's a great book. Gorilla Tagmore, I'm going to come check you out in a little bit. And everyone, if you guys can subscribe to Gorilla Tag Boy and support him as well. I know how hard it is to get started with YouTube, so I'm doing my best to try to help avoid the stress, the struggle that everyone else that I had. because it's very depressing. Start your businesses now. Whatever thing you can think of. I know every single one of you has some type of dream. Maybe you want to be a musician. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to start a YouTube channel. Maybe you want to travel the world. Winners do it now. Do something today to help you make that dream come true now. And when do you start making the mistakes? Today, not later. I'm so upset when I keep hearing people, oh, I'm going to start a business one day, or I'm going to start a business once my kids are out of school, or I'm going to start a business once I get a raise at my job. No, you start the business now. Jeezy Nacho, I would definitely donate if you had your Cash App or something on here. So for now, I I don't know. Maybe I'll get Cash App and I will figure out how to do that. Maybe that's a way that I can get some support now from you guys. I sincerely appreciate this, and it makes me feel very happy that I have supporters like you, and I want to keep giving content. I have a lot of knowledge, and I want to share it. I want to share it. And so I'm going to jump off now. Wait, Gorilla Tag Boy, did I subscribe to you already? Let me know in the chat. If I did not yet subscribe yet, please leave a comment now on one of my videos so that I can subscribe and then join your live chat. I can join maybe for only 10 minutes initially because literally I have so much homework and so much work to catch up with my businesses, and it's 9:30 and I've got a full day's worth of work, so I'm going to be up very, very late. I would definitely donate if you had your Cash App or something. Put it in your description until you hit your required hours. Thank you very much for that very wise suggestion, Cheesy One Nacho. Can I ask you what is the best way to do that? Is it to create an account on Cash App? I mean, I have Zelle, but then I have to publicly share my phone number, which I don't think is smart. Maybe I could connect it to an email address, but I don't know if that's going to result in a lot of spam. Before I go, what do you guys think? Should I use Cash App? What should I put in the description to try to create some monetization for this? That would be very, very helpful. And while I'm waiting for you guys to put that in the chat, it's really heartwarming to me that you're even making that suggestion, and I certainly greatly appreciate that. And so, not getting anything in the comments now, so that's okay. Thank you for the likes. A reminder: you can visit me at monroeman.com. You can visit my more professional website at monroeman. Maybe I will be able to put something like that on my YouTube descriptions moving forward. So, thank you so much. What I will leave you with is just a reminder that thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Uh, you're welcome. Absolutely. So I'm hoping that I'm subscribed to Gorilla Tag Boy. If not, like I said, leave a comment on one of my videos so I can subscribe and support your live stream. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Please do something today or tomorrow to change your life. Do something significant. Take some step forward to do something you've always wanted to do. Take one step forward to talk to someone you haven't talked to in a long time. Start a business today that you've always wanted to start. Please take steps to do something awesome. Thank you so much. Catch you guys later. My name is Monroe Mann, signing off.